Hey guys, this is Arun,
And this is Abby.
and welcome back to July 28th episode of Fill Your Pockets, where we try once again to fill your pockets and help you guys make some good bets for MLB. Yesterday, not the best day, but we still won one of our bet slips. We had the Rays versus the Yankees, where it was a back and forth game, where eventually the New York Yankees and Chapman closed out the game. Um, it was a really tight game, and the Yankees pulled away. So that's the one that got away from us. But the one bet that we did win was the Cardinals money line. Um, they took on the who did they take on once?
Cleveland.
Cleveland, the Cleveland Guardians. I mean, Gardeners. But
Gotta get used to it.
yeah, you got to get used to it. But we're 1-1 from yesterday, and today we hope to exceed that 1-1. We got 3 picks for today, and hopefully we could help you win some money. Abishai, do you want to quickly just recap these games from yesterday? These
Yes,
two games.
thank you, Arun. Obviously, the first game was the St. Louis Cardinals versus the Indians. Oh my God, the Guardians. But yeah, we kind of were spot on with what we thought. Adam Wainwright was phenomenal. 7 innings, 2 runs allowed. It was a close game. Quantrell, he pitched pretty solid, but the whole game, both teams pitching was phenomenal. 4-2 game at the end of the day, but the Cardinals had more offense because, like we felt, that they had more offense than the Indians at the end of the day, and that's exactly what happened. And that's how the Cardinals were able to win the game yesterday. Then we get to the second game where we had the Rays over the Yankees, and to be honest, the first 5 innings, it was anyone's game. It was 0-0. Both teams were pitching phenomenal. Both teams were actually hitting each other, but they couldn't score because the defense was phenomenal, the pitching was phenomenal. But at the end of the day, the Yankees were able to manage enough runs to come away. Their bullpen held it down. Zach Brin, he got into a bind, but he got out of it. And then Chapman, he struggled recently, but he was able to throw some heat, 103 miles per hour on one of his pitches against Nelson. Against I think it was against Franco or Manuel, but he looked like he was Chapman. He was throwing heaters, and he got the save, and the Yankees prevailed. But that's why we separate the bets. For this instance, we didn't parlay them, so I hope no one did that, made that mistake, because that was the whole purpose. So you could at least break 500, and that's what we did. We're still 3-2 on the season so far.
Yep.
Another note was our hold-up game was the White Sox and the Royals, and for the first 8 innings, listen, our analysis on the Royals with Brad Keller against Cease was right there. Keller was pitching phenomenal. They had a 3-1 lead, but then the bullpens got involved, and then the White Sox were able to, at the end of the day, come out with a win. But like we said, we felt that was a game that could have went back and forth, and that's exactly what happened. But the White Sox did end up winning. And our final game yesterday was the primetime game with the Giants and the Dodgers. And we felt this would be a great game. They're both fighting for the division. The pitching was phenomenal. 2-1 game. And the Giants, if we had to pick yesterday, we agreed that the Giants was going to be our pick. And at the end of the day, they won. They now have a 3-game lead in that division. And that's why that was such a marquee game for yesterday. Now, we get into today. First game. We have a lot of games today, spread out throughout the whole day. The first game's at 1 o'clock. So we're recording this at 11:20, but yeah, 11:20 Eastern time. So 1 o'clock already, one of the games is going to start. So, and we're actually going to go over that game right now. It's
All
St.
right,
Louis.
guys. Yeah.
It's St. Louis versus Cleveland again, game 2 of the series. We have
Yep.
Kim, the lefty, going up against Zach Plesac. This line, once again, I don't get it. -110, basically even money almost. I don't understand why the line is so close. The one thing I will say, that the reason why this line is so close probably could be because none of these two pitchers have faced each other. They've never played against the opposing team, so that's one thing. You don't have much information on how they fare against the other team. But if we look at the recent track records, Kim 5-0 last 5 starts. They have not lost his last 5 starts. In his last 30 innings, Kim, 30 innings. That's basically 3 full games if you were to do it. He's given up 3 runs, which is phenomenal. That's less than a run a game, which shows how dominant he's been right now in this recent. He's been their ace with Wainwright, who pitched yesterday, and that is the reason why the St. Louis Cardinals are still hanging above 500 and still may have a chance to sneak into the postseason. We get into Zach Plesac for Cleveland. He came off the injured list early July. He had I think it was a thumb injury or a hand injury, something like that. So he came back at the beginning of this month. He's had 3 starts in July. And to be honest, he has been inconsistent. He's been up and down. He's given up 3 runs, 4 runs, 2 runs in 3 of those games. So he can pitch way better than that. He's actually one of their best pitchers, but he has not been, you can say, quote unquote, himself yet. Maybe it's because the injury is still lagging. Maybe it's because he has to get back in rhythm, or maybe it's because the grind of the season. But overall, if we look at the thing that we've been doing recently, the 3 pillars: starting pitching, hitting, bullpen. I give the starter, hands down, St. Louis. Batting/hitting, St. Louis again. Bullpen, I will give the bullpen advantage to Cleveland because they have way more depth in their relief pitching than the St. Louis Cardinals do. But still, all in all, that's 2-1. And based off of what I feel and what we feel St. Louis is the play here.
There you guys have it. The first game of the day, Cardinals versus the Cleveland Guardians. This is a very early game, so it's a 1:10 Eastern time game. So make sure you get your bets in quick. This episode will be up early as well.
And we will be still posting like we do every day with our pick on IG.
Right. All right. So for our second game of the slate, it's a 4:10 Eastern time game. We got the Oakland A's taking on the San Diego Padres. Padres lead the season series. They only have 1 game under their belt, and the Padres took that one. The Padres are also favored in this matchup, sitting at -135 odds. All the bookies have exactly almost the same odds, so you're gonna get the same value on almost all the bookies. Padres are a really good home team, and Abhishek, what's your thoughts on this game, man? The second game of our slate.
I personally, the next 2 games that we're gonna go over, I love them to death. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But right now, I have a great feeling for both of these games. Sean Manaea for the Oakland A's. He's basically been their most consistent pitcher the whole season. We go up against Blake Snell for the Padres. Now, when you look into the numbers, if you look at the numbers just from the start, Blake Snell, 4.9 ERA. He has not been himself this season. You look at Sean Manaea, he has an ERA of 3, around 3. He has been their best pitcher. He's coming off a start against the Seattle Mariners where he had 13 strikeouts, 7 innings. He got the win. That was the last win for the Oakland A's that they've had. They've lost 4 straight. They lost yesterday. Yesterday, the Oakland A's had the clear pitching advantage, clear as day, with their pitcher against Chris Paddock for the Padres, and they couldn't do shit. Their offense is struggling. The Padres were down 3-0 yesterday, and they ended up scoring 7 straight runs to win the game. Now we get into today. When we get into the Oakland A's, Sean Manaea, he is their ace. He has been the most reliable guy for them, but he's been up and down. He had a great last start. Before that, he had given up 3 runs, 4 runs, 3 runs, 4 runs. He was up and down, like I've said. He's 1-3 in the last 4 road starts. The 1 win was the last start he had. And in terms of bullpen, once he leaves the game, they're very suspect. They just made a trade for Chafin from the Chicago Cubs. That should help them, a lefty pitcher. But I don't know if he's available or if he's not available. The trade happened a couple of days ago, so I would assume he is available. But overall, their bullpen is sus, if we were to look at that, putting that into perspective. Now we get into the Padres. Blake Snell has started 7 home games for the Padres. 7. They are 6-1 in his 7 home starts. In those home starts, he's pitched 37 innings. He's given up 6 runs. That's less than a .3 of a run per game is what he's averaging. At home, he has been flat out dominant, and it's not like at home he's been playing garbage teams. He's played playoff teams like the Mets. He's played the Dodgers twice. He's played the San Francisco Giants. So he's got up against real competition at home, and he has straight up looked like the Blake Snell that was pitching the World Series last year. And in his last 2 home starts, he's given up nothing in 12 innings. So once again, 3 pillars: starting pitching, hitting/batting, bullpen. All 3, clear as day, go to the Padres. If the one thing, if you want to say, is equal, I would say Sean Manaea is a fantastic pitcher. He's a lefty. It's lefty versus lefty today. If you want to say that's somewhat even, I can give you that, even though I think Blake Snell at home, he has been fantastic. And the last start he made against the Marlins, yes, the Marlins are not a great team. He shut them out for 7 innings. 0 runs. Hitting, it's not even close. The Padres just traded for Adam Frazier, a lefty bat. He's batting over .320. He leads the league in hits. And he has yesterday had 2 hits already. First game as a Padre. So hitting-wise, starting pitching-wise, and bullpen go to the Padres. And I feel, like Arun mentioned earlier, the Padres are a fantastic home team as well. So for -135, -130 at some sports books, this is clear value. I love the Padres today.
All right, guys. So Padres for our game number 2, which starts at 4:10. And for our last game of the night, we have a 7:05 Eastern Time game. It's going to be on ESPN Plus, and it's the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. And the only bookie that really has odds on them out right now is DraftKings. So right now, Milwaukee is favored, sitting at -150, while Pittsburgh is the underdog, sitting at +130 value. Milwaukee is a really good home team, a little above 500. So, Abhishek, thoughts on this game, our last game of the night?
Last game of the night. The reason why a lot of sports books don't have this game out right now is because the Pittsburgh Pirates have not announced who would be pitching for them. Yesterday, they traded away their best pitcher, Tyler Anderson. He went to the Phillies. That trade got canceled because the Phillies had some medical issue with him. And then I don't know how this makes any sense, but then he subsequently got traded to the Mariners right after that. So the Pittsburgh Pirates are a struggling team. They were struggling with all their best players. They're selling. The season is over. They know their season is over. They're playing for the future. So God knows who's pitching for them today. None of the pitchers that have been in rotation for them is going to start today. So they're going to either call somebody up from the minor leagues or maybe do a bullpen game. Regardless, Pittsburgh is in a bind right now. They traded away their best hitter, Adam Frazier, as I mentioned before, to the Padres. They traded away their best pitcher yesterday, Tyler Anderson. They traded away Holmes, one of their relief pitchers, to the Yankees. They're just trading, and I wouldn't be surprised if by 7 o'clock, which is about a little over less than 8 hours away, they make a couple more trades because they're all in on rebuilding. So now we get to the Milwaukee Brewers. Yesterday, 9-0, they killed them. This game was over in the second inning. It was 8-0. Eric Lauer was supposed to pitch, but now it's Adrian Hauser. So I don't know what their plan is here. I think they may just make them both pitch because they have plenty of pitchers that have been performing phenomenal in their rotation. So that could be the plan. I tried to find out what's going on with Eric Lauer because he's been pitching fantastic for the Brewers recently. But if we just look at Adrian Hauser, he pitched earlier against the Pirates this month. He pitched nearly 7 innings, 6 and 2/3. He gave up 1 run, and the Brewers won the game. Now, this stat shook me up. I couldn't believe it. So, and this is the key stat of all the stats for this game. In the last 8 games that Adrian Hauser has just started, meaning he's a starting pitcher, the Brewers are 8-0 in those games. So, 8-0, you're playing the Pirates. They're clearly selling. They have no reason obviously you're going to go out there as professionals to play to win the game, but they're just selling. They don't really care. Their season's over. They're just 2 months away from Cancun. So there's nothing that I can say to back the Pirates in this situation. So I think, and plus at DraftKings it was 140. Arun, you're saying it's 150 now, so the line could be going up.
Mhm.
So that way you should get on this game fast because, to be honest, regardless of who's pitching for Milwaukee, their lineup is better. Their starting pitching's better. They didn't use their bullpen at all yesterday because the game was a blowout. So for those very reasons, the Milwaukee Brewers are clear as day the pick here, especially with the value you're getting now. Do not wait for 7 p.m. because this
Yeah.
line could get up to like 180, 190, and then there's no value. There's no point of picking the game at that point unless you want to parlay it with a different game. But you don't want to do that. Get on this now because you're getting great value for a team that is clearly the superior team in the matchup tonight.
Well said, Abhishek. All right, guys. So quick recap to end the episode. First game of the night or first game of the day, we're going with the St. Louis Cardinals against the Cleveland Guardians. That's a super early game, 1:10 Eastern time game. Our second game of the slate, we're taking the Padres against the A's, and for the last game, the Brewers should be winning this game with ease. The Pirates' chances of making the postseason are non-existent. So,
Non-existent, bro.
yeah, Milwaukee should be coming out with this dub. And Abhishek, do you recommend doing a money line on these or what? Like, do you have any advice on
That is
that?
why, Arun, you tune in to the IG.
All right, guys. So tune into the IG. The post should be up very soon.
Very soon.
Before
because
this
it's an early
first game. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So make sure you guys tune into our IG, and hopefully we hope you guys win some money today and fill your pockets. We'll catch you guys in tomorrow's episode, and happy gambling. Peace out.